Back in season 1, we visited what was deemed to be the worst city in the UK. So I thought for season 2, let's go and visit what is called the best city in the UK. I wonder if you can guess where it is from the murals to my left, where we can see some examples of the great things about this city, including a reference there to the famous story of the Blood Brothers. I am, of course, in Liverpool. Let's find out what it's like to be Scouse, not English. Whilst I'm in town, I'm staying on the docks, and obviously I'm just walking past currently the famous M&S Bank Arena here in Liverpool, which is situated on one of the docks as I just walk towards my hotel. And I'm also seeing, crikey, it is windy, also seeing this wonderful Liverpool Wheel of Liverpool, which gives you some great views over the city here on Merseyside.
When you walk through a storm, hold your head up high.
As we always do, it is worth checking out the room. Naturally, we've got a bed. We've gone Premier Inn again, which is the same as what we went for in the Derby video. Quite a nice view of the docks. Now, this is one of the old dock warehouses, I guess, and it certainly is shown in the building here. Of course, naturally, we've got a bath, shower, loo and sink, all the stuff you want. I'm just going down the stairwell in this hotel, and just see a contrast, a real contrast in between the bit where the rooms are, which is just like that. You've still got some of this old stuff here, and then like proper old school dock plan buildings. It's just fascinating. And of course, it's worth paying notice to next door, the Beatles story, which I'm sure we'll be hearing a lot from the Beatles as this video goes on. But yeah, this has just interested me, and I thought I'd document it. Hotel Dockland. Wow. Morning. We've made a trip across the Mersey to Birkenhead. And it's quite an interesting place for me, is old Birkenhead, as the last game of football I ever played was here for a team called Bromborough Athletic. I think they no longer exist. I played left back, and it was an interesting game, to say the least. Other interesting thing that I thought we'll do today is we'll dig out the Manchester United shirts, because of course the great rivalry between United and Liverpool. But yeah, while we're in Birkenhead, particularly Rock Ferry at the moment, we'll check out the old field where we used to play, and also we'll probably take a trip to Prenton Park, I think. So here we are, Prenton Park, the home of Tranmere Rovers FC, and who better to tell you all about it than my friend Shaun. Over to you.
So basically, we were formed in 1884 as Belmont FC. We hold 16,567. Currently sitting 20th in League 2. Hopefully we will stay up.
You going to survive?
Who knows?
Who knows?
Who knows? What a beautiful stadium.
Indeed. So you've got Ubi Fide, Ibi Lux et Robur. What does that mean?
That does mean where there is faith, there is light and strength.
Fantastic. And I think that ties quite nicely into this whole Liverpool sort of way of thinking of everyone is in it together.
Yeah. We're
all working towards this collective good, and hopefully for Tranmere they stay in the Football League. So this is the I'm not going to say famous, I'm going to go infamous Plym Yards, where we played, how many years ago now? 4 years ago, something like that. Last game we played, we won't tell you the score, but what we will say is you scored a hat-trick.
Yeah.
I think you scored after about a minute.
Yeah.
I played left back and I got assists. So here you go, the beautiful Plym Yards playing fields. What a memory to be here. So when in Liverpool, there is of course a small matter of a football club that has won 20 league titles, 6 Champions Leagues, I think, at the time of recording. Icons through the ages: Sir Kenny Dalglish, Sir Ian Rush, Steven Gerrard, other players like Xabi Alonso, Fernando Torres, and now the likes of Mohamed Salah, Alexander Isak, steeped in history and tradition. Managers such as Bob Paisley, Bill Shankly, Sir Kenny Dalglish, later Jurgen Klopp, and currently Arne Slot. I am talking, of course, about Liverpool. Let's see what we can find out. Following the termination of the season where Liverpool won their 20th league title, the world was greeted with the sad news of the passing of Portuguese international Diogo Jota. And still people lay flowers and leave tributes to a real fan favourite and a real icon of Liverpool's recent history. And of course, another memorial of a very famous tragedy happening in April 1989, where 97 people lost their life at the dreadful disaster in Hillsborough. And a loving tribute from the family of these people who sadly lost their lives in this disaster. What I will say about Liverpool Football Club is they do like to bang on about how many European titles they've won, and they have won a lot, admittedly, yes, but there was one club, English club, that did manage to win the European Cup before Liverpool managed to do it. They did it in 1968, and that was, of course, my club. It's quite amusing to be walking around Anfield wearing a Manchester United shirt, but oh well, it's all good fun. So, of course, as alluded to earlier in the video, one of the most famous things about Liverpool is the Beatles, who wrote the song Penny Lane. And here it is. Little hair room, maybe that was the barber showing photographs. Maybe you could get your fish and finger pie here beneath the, well, blue and grey suburban skies on Penny Lane here in Liverpool. Do you know, I bet the house prices on here are quite ridiculous. It's just a road in Liverpool. There's nothing to it. Honestly. Great song though. Really, really good song. Let me take you down, because I'm going to Strawberry Fields. Nothing is real and nothing to get hung about. Strawberry Fields forever, the B-side of Penny Lane. Those very, very famous Beatles lyrics. And here we are at Strawberry Fields Garden. It's now, I think it's run by the Salvation Army, but it's super peaceful actually. And it is really quite well restored, really quite well developed, really quite well kept together. It's not too far away from Penny Lane, of course, and I think it was really quite close to where John Lennon grew up. But yeah, it's just a lovely little site here. You just stumble upon it. It is completely just unassuming. You're driving and then you're like, oh yeah, there it is. Strawberry Fields. Strawberry Fields forever. This is St. Peter's Church, and I stand here in its memorial garden for one very specific reason. This grave here mentions Eleanor Rigby. Another one of those famous songs by the Beatles referenced this lady, who was the wife of a guy called Thomas Woods, died in 1939, and not a lot is known about her, but the song is incredibly famous, and here she is buried in the St Peter's churchyard. So, Shaun, before I do my summary, just a couple of questions for you vis-a-vis Liverpool. You've lived here all your life.
Yeah.
It's obviously got this reputation from some journalists of the best city in the UK. Do you agree?
Yeah.
Yeah? Nowhere you'd rather be?
No.
Excellent. If people come to Liverpool, what should they go see?
Depends what they're into, really. If they're into sports, we've got obviously Anfield, well, Hill Dickinson Stadium for Everton, stuff like that. If they're into history, there's cathedrals, stuff like that. Really, quite a lot to do, really. It's a very wide-ranged city.
For sure. And finally, what does it mean to be Scouse, not English?
It's a cultural, political phrase used by Scousers to emphasise we stand out from the rest.
Lovely stuff. Thank you very much, my friend.
No worries.
All the best.
And you.
So that brings the episode of Liverpool to a close. Let's go with the key question. Is it the best city in the UK? For me, no, it's not, but it doesn't mean to say it's not a great city. There's great history here, great heritage and great culture, and I would absolutely encourage you to come and visit Liverpool. You won't be disappointed. Of course, this video has been slightly different to the usual. In the usual ones, we stay mostly situated in the city centre, but I thought it was really important to go and get those little bits of Beatles history in there, and of course, a trip to Anfield was important, as well as popping over the Mersey to visit Birkenhead and see Tranmere Stadium, and to go and have a look at the old fields where I used to play as well, up here. I hope you've enjoyed it, and as always, if you have, don't forget to like, share and subscribe. We've got plenty of exciting stuff coming up soon, and look forward to that. See you soon.